Kovan Aidi Khourto, a Yazidi woman rescued by the Women's Protection Units after a decade in ISIS captivity in northern Syria's al-Hol camp, has returned to her family in Sinjar, northern Iraq. Women in former ISIS stronghold Raqqa have taken to the streets to kick off a week of events to mark the 8th of March International Women's Day, demonstrating the resilience of both the city itself and the rest of North and East Syria. In tragic news, beloved Medya news contributor and advocate for Kurdish rights, Erling Folkvord, has passed away in Stockholm, Sweden, at the age of 74 on Friday the 1st of March. The Turkish government must reconsider its military and intelligence strategy and stop fatal cross-border drone strikes in Iraqi Kurdistan. The Patriotic Union of Kurdistan leader Bafel Talabani has said. Learn more with Medya News. A Yazidi woman has been freed from ISIS and returned to her family by the Women's Protection Units, or YPJ, and the Yazidi House in North and East Syria, in coordination with Sinjar City Council and the Yazidi Women's Resistance Units, or YJS. Kovan Aidi Khourto, from the village of Hardan in the Sinjar region of northern Iraq, was freed after a decade in ISIS captivity in the al-Hol camp. She was one of thousands of Yazidi women abducted during the Sinjar massacre in 2014. The Yazidi House expressed its gratitude to the YPJ, the Asayish Internal Security Forces, and all those involved in the operation. Farhad Shami, head of the Media and Information Office of the Syrian Democratic Forces, praised the bravery of the YPJ in rescuing Yazidi women from ISIS captivity. The YPJ managed to free the women during a joint operation with security forces from Syria's Kurdish-led autonomous regions in the al-Hol camp on the 4th of February. The operation, supported by the Global Coalition Against ISIS, targeted active ISIS bases in al-Hol camp, home to more than 50,000 residents, mostly women and children. Women in Raqqa took to the streets on Sunday to kick off a week of events to mark 8th of March International Women's Day, demonstrating the city's resilience in the face of challenges. The march celebrates not only the global significance of the day, but also the remarkable transformation of Raqqa from an ISIS stronghold to a symbol of hope and change. These celebrations reflect a commitment to gender equality and women's empowerment that is deeply rooted in the broader context of what's known as the Rojava Revolution and the Kurdish-led autonomous administration in North and East Syria. The Rojava Revolution, which began in 2012, has played a key role in establishing a political system that prioritises gender equality, environmental sustainability and direct democracy. At its core is the Democratic Autonomous Administration of North and East Syria, which is committed to inclusive governance and women's rights. Through various policies and institutions, the administration ensures women's participation in all spheres of society, including politics and defence. The Kurdish community and supporters worldwide are mourning the loss of Erling Folkvord, writer, politician, revered advocate of the Kurdish cause, and steadfast supporter of oppressed peoples worldwide, who passed away in Stockholm on Friday the 1st of March. As one of the founders of Solkurd, an organisation dedicated to supporting Kurdistan from Norway and Europe, Folkvord played a key role in mobilising solidarity efforts and raising international awareness. The Brussels-based Kurdistan National Congress has joined the chorus of voices mourning Folkvord's death, hailing him as a valued friend and staunch ally of the Kurdish liberation movement. The KNK extended its heartfelt condolences to Folkvord's family, colleagues and loved ones and vowed to honour his memory by continuing the struggle for justice and upholding his cherished values. Folkvord, who was also a respected contributor to Medya News, died while he was in the Swedish capital working on a book project, a comparative study of the Kurdish and Palestinian liberation movements, with his good friend Sven Olsen. Bafel Talabani, leader of the Kurdistan region of Iraq's Patriotic Union of Kurdistan, declared that the PKK was no enemy and said that his party would refuse to make concessions to Turkey. Turkey's drone attacks on the region have been continuous, he said, pointing to an incident in which 3 of his fellow fighters, who had all fought against ISIS, were killed by Turkish forces. Additionally, Talabani emphasised that the US coalition in Iraq was non-invasive and advocated for the United States to recognise Iraq and Iran's constructive partnership. Turkey has recently escalated threats against the Patriotic Union of Kurdistan, with Turkish President Erdogan and his Foreign Minister Fidan both issuing warnings over the party's relationship with the PKK.